Now, entire class Algebra CAT Workshop 1. Algebra CAT Workshop 1. How many of you need a fundamentals of quadratic expression revision? Kindly reply in the live chat if you want first 5 to 10 minutes of revision, then we will get into a CAT questions. If you want revision, please say yes, yes, yes in the live chat, so that I will mold my class accordingly. We will only discuss questions based on quadratic equations. If you want a quick 5 to 10 minutes revision of all the concepts in quadratic equations, I will do it. Then I will solve some very, very good problems in quadratic equation. Kindly reply in the live chat if you want a quick recap of all the important fundamentals. Quick recap of all the fundamentals. In case if you want it, please type yes in the live chat. Quick recap of all fundamentals. Right? Now, please write down some important key points. Important key points. Let us do a quick recap of all fundamentals. Then we will get into a CAT level questions. A quadratic equation. A quadratic expression. A quadratic expression is an expression with degree 2. A quadratic expression is an expression with degree 2. The general form of the quadratic expression is ax square plus bx plus c, a not equivalent to 0. Right? So, if an expression is equated with 0, if an expression is equated with 0, then I will get a quadratic equation. Then I will get a quadratic equation. Then I will get a quadratic equation. Ax square plus bx plus c equivalent to 0. Third point, what is the difference between a quadratic expression and quadratic equation? If a quadratic equation is equated with 0, right, then we will get the roots for the quadratic expression. A quadratic expression is not equated with 0. A quadratic equation is equated with 0. If an expression is equated with 0, then an expression can be called as an equation. As the name rightly says, equations, it is equated with. So, ax square plus bx plus c, it is nothing but a into x square minus of minus b by ax plus c by a. This is nothing but a into x square minus of alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta. This is nothing but a into x minus alpha into x minus beta. Please make a note of this important key point. Ax square plus bx plus c can also be written as a into x minus alpha into x minus beta. Alpha plus beta, it is minus b by a. Alpha plus beta, it is sum of the roots. Alpha beta, it is c by a, which is a product of the roots. Sum of the roots, it is, right, minus b by a, and product of the roots is c by a. I hope it is clear. Alpha plus beta minus b by a, sum of the roots alpha beta, it is c by a. Now listen carefully, sir. This is a very, very important key point for me to extend the logic to an higher order equation. Ax square plus bx plus c is a into x minus alpha into x minus beta. Similarly, ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, this is nothing but a into x minus alpha into x minus beta into x minus gamma. If the degree of the equation is 2, then you can write it as a into x minus alpha, x minus beta, because there are two roots, alpha and beta. If the degree is 3, a into x minus alpha, x minus beta, x minus gamma. Now, please make a note of it. Make a note of it. X square minus 5x plus 6 equivalent to 0. X square minus 5x plus 6 equivalent to 0. X minus 2 into x minus 3 equivalent to 0. x is nothing but 2 comma 3. So how many positive real roots it has got? Number of positive real roots. Number of positive real roots it has got is 2. Number of negative real roots. Number of negative real roots, it is nothing but 0, right? 0 is not the root. 0 is not the root. Why 0 is not the root? If the constant is present in the question, if the constant is present in the question, then 0 cannot be the root. Then 0 cannot be the root. What is important to me? What is important to me is nothing but how to find the number of positive real roots and how to find the number of negative real roots. Descartes rule of sign, extremely important. Descartes rule of signs. Start from right hand side. Start from right hand side. Count the number of sign changes. Count the number of sign changes. Count the number of sign changes. Positive is becoming a negative, one sign change. Negative is becoming positive. So there are two sign changes. If there are two sign changes, how many positive real roots will come? How many positive real roots will come? 2 positive real roots will come. Now you might ask me a very good question. Sir, why because of the change in sign the number of positive real roots are determined? That could be your doubt. Why because of it the number of sign changes, the number of positive real roots are coming? Again, please make a note of this point. If he gives any polynomial equation, how to find out the number of positive real roots? Start from the constant. Count the number of sign changes. A sign change is where the positive is becoming a negative or negative is becoming positive. Positive is becoming a negative. Negative is becoming positive. So there are two sign changes. If there are two sign changes, then the number of positive real roots are nothing but 2. Then we will go into the higher order Descartes rule. Once you get the imaginary roots, it is not only 2 but it goes with a difference of even number. That I will discuss when I am discussing the CAT workshop. As of now, simple quadratic equation, I will restrict my definition. Sir, why it is happening? How the sign changes are related to the number of positive real roots? See here, x square minus 5x plus 6 equivalent to 0. If I compare it with ax square plus bx plus c equivalent to 0, a is nothing but 1, which is nothing but 0, greater than 0. I hope it is clear. Sum of the roots, it is nothing but minus b by a. Product of the roots, it is nothing but c by a. A is nothing but positive. A is nothing but positive. Right? Now see here. B value is alpha and beta. If I want the positive real roots, if I am determining the positive real roots, if I am determining the positive real roots, alpha and beta both are positive. Positive plus positive, these left hand side value will be positive. So if it is positive, beta b has to be negative. Are you all with me? Negative into negative, it is positive. It is positive, right? So then alpha, beta, if both of them are positive, this is positive. A anyway it is greater than 0. C should be greater than 0 because positive by positive can only become positive. That means if the left hand side is positive, if the left hand side is positive, what is that we determined? What is that we determined? Ax square plus bx plus c equivalent to 0. If a is positive, if a is positive, b is coming out to be negative and c is coming out to be positive. Are you all with me? So how many sign changes are there? Positive to negative, negative to positive. So how many positive real roots that we got, 2 positive real roots we got. That is what exactly we did it. Positive to negative, negative to positive. Are you all with me? Positive to negative and negative to positive. So another case we will do it. So by using sum of the roots and product of the roots, you can check the behavior of the coefficients of a, b and c if a is known. Ax square plus bx plus c, it is equivalent to 0. If in the question he gave it as a and alpha and beta are positive real roots. If it is positive real roots, what is the nature of B and what is the nature of C? Whether it is positive, whether it is negative. So it will be alpha plus beta equivalent to minus B by A. Right? Assume that he gave A greater than 0, or we will put the case here. Case 1. Case 1, if A is greater than 0, alpha plus beta equivalent to minus B by A. This will be positive. This is positive and this is nothing but negative. So what is the nature of B? If A is greater than 0 and alpha beta are positive real roots, B is negative. Case 2, in that one, same thing. Alpha beta equivalent to C by A. This is positive, A is positive, so C will be positive. So case 1, if A is greater than 0, B is negative and C will be greater than 0. Extremely useful in solving some tough level questions by using answer options. If alpha and beta are positive real roots and A is greater than 0, what is the condition for B and C? B will be negative and B will be negative and C will be greater than 0. Case 2. Let us see case number 2. If A is less than 0, if A is less than 0, alpha plus beta is minus B by A. What are alpha and beta? They are all positive real roots. They are all positive real roots. So these are nothing but positive. A is nothing but negative. A is nothing but negative. So beta will be positive. Why? Because negative into positive will be negative. Negative by negative it will be positive. So beta will be positive. If beta is positive, alpha beta equivalent to C by A. So alpha beta both are positive. It is positive. It is negative. C will be negative. C will be negative. C will be negative. I hope the idea it is clear. I hope the idea it is clear. Very, very simple concept but very good quality CAT questions can be solved by using this logic. I hope the idea it is clear. Next one, another important point. Alpha, beta are positive. Then you can do it. Generally people just go through the basic concepts and they think that is a quadratic equation. No beta. Alpha, beta both are negative real roots. If they are both negative real roots, case number 1, A is greater than 0, alpha plus beta equivalent to minus B by A. Both are negative. Negative, negative, if I add it will be negative and it is positive. It is positive. So B has to be positive because negative into positive is negative. Negative by positive is negative. So B has to be positive. B has to be positive. Next one, alpha beta equivalent to C by A. Negative into negative, it will be positive. A is nothing but greater than 0. C is nothing but positive. You don't need to remember anything. You can conclude it by using sum of the roots and the product of the roots. If you are good in sum of the roots and product of the roots, that is enough for you to solve it. I hope you got this idea. I hope you got this idea. Right? Now, suppose it is for you to do little bit of research. If alpha is positive and beta is negative. If alpha is positive, beta is negative. There are 3 cases that you will get. Alpha is 2, beta is minus 2. both sum of the roots will become 0. Alpha is 3, beta is minus 2. Alpha plus beta is positive. Alpha is 2, beta is minus 3. So if one is positive, one is negative, sum of the roots at times I am getting 0, at times I am getting positive, at times I am getting negative. So alpha plus beta nature, unless and until I know the values of alpha and beta, I cannot determine it uniquely. Please make a note of it. Don't take one case and try to generalize it. Very, very important. Descartes rule of signs. What is a Descartes rule of signs? Descartes rule of signs helps us in determining the maximum number of positive real roots and maximum number of negative real roots, and whether constant is there. If the constant is there, 0 is not a root of the equation. Very, very high level concept using the simplest of the problems. Kindly listen to the every point of mine. Then you can solve the original CAT questions in a jiffy. Otherwise, if you do not know any of these thorough understanding of fundamentals, you cannot solve. Are you a student preparing for Staff Selection Commission? Please watch this class also, because from last few years, the kind of questions that are coming in algebra are little at a CAT level, especially from 2017 onwards, Staff Selection Commission paper. The kind of questions that comes in algebra are extremely of very good quality. Right? Next one. Next, suppose we determined f of x is nothing but x square minus 5x plus 6. Replace x with minus x. Replace x with minus x. So f of minus x will become x square plus 5x plus 6. Then count the number of sign changes. Then count the number of sign changes from right hand side. Count the number of sign changes from right hand side. Positive, positive, no sign change. Positive, positive, no sign change. So there are no negative real roots. There are no negative real roots. There are no negative real roots. I hope it is clear. There are no negative real roots. There are no negative real roots. I hope it is clear. There are no negative real roots. Now if you see here, this point it is clear. Higher polynomial also we can use this question. Next one. Next one. Ax square plus bx plus c equivalent to 0. Only when a, b, c are rational. Only when a and a, b, c are rational numbers. If one root is p plus root q, another root is p minus root q. Only when a, b, c are rational numbers. Tick mark it. Most of the students go through an half knowledge. If a, b, c are real numbers, if a, b, c are real numbers, if one root is p plus root q, another root cannot be determined. It can be p minus root q, or it can be root q minus p. It can be, right? More than one ways are there. Other root cannot be determined uniquely. Please make a note of it. Only when the coefficients are rational numbers, then only roots happen in pairs. Roots comes in pairs. Roots comes in pairs, or in other words, conjugate surds will be the roots only when a, b, c are rational. If a, b, c are real numbers, write it. It is not mandatory. Right? Directly don't take if one root is 2 plus root 3. Don't take the other root as 2 minus root 3 without checking the coefficients of x square, x and constant. It should be specified in the question that a, b, c are rational numbers. Then only if one root is p plus root q, another root will be p minus root q. I hope this idea is clear. Next one. Sir, what if it is cubic equation? Ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d equivalent to 0. If a, b, c, d are rational numbers, if a, b, c, d are rational numbers, very, very important learning. B square less than 2ac is the condition for the roots to be imaginary. B square less than 2ac is the condition for the roots to be imaginary. Imaginary roots happens in pairs I1, I2 and R. I1, I2 and R. For if all the roots are real, then the condition is b square greater than or equivalent to 2ac. Real roots will be there. Real roots means R1, R2 and R3. R1, R2 and R3. Praveen, R1, R2 and R3. Sir, how you got this? This is nothing but sum of the roots taken one at a time. It is minus b by a. Right? Now, sum of the roots taken 2 at a time. It is c by a. Right? So, alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square greater than or equivalent to 0. So, alpha plus beta plus gamma square minus 2 into alpha beta beta gamma greater than or equivalent to 0. So, b square by a square minus 2 into c by a greater than or equivalent to 0. B square greater than or equivalent to 2ac. When it will be greater than or equivalent to 0? When all the roots are real. A square function will be greater than or equivalent to 0 when only it is real. Only it is real. Only if it is real. Only if it is real. Right? Ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d equivalent to 0. Sum of the roots taken one at a time, it is nothing but minus b by a. 2 at a time is nothing but c by a. If alpha, beta, gamma are real, alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square is greater than or equivalent to 0. A square plus b square plus c square greater than or equivalent to 0. That means a plus b plus c whole square minus 2 into AB plus BC plus AC greater than or equivalent to 0. Very, very important point. In most of the textbooks, this point will not be there. B square less than 2AC is the condition for the roots to be imaginary in a cubic equation. I hope it is clear. Suppose, very, very important key point. If he says that, right, okay, we will do it in cubic equation. If two roots are common, there is a quadratic expression which is given and there is a cubic equation that is given. If two roots are common, means, suppose this has got R1 and R2, this will also have R1 and R2, or if it has got I1 and I2, this will also have I1 and I2. Is it clear? I1, R1, it is not possible. Either both of them will be real or both of them will be imaginary, That anyway in a CAT level, that question I will solve it. Is it clear? Extremely important point. Take a screenshot of this, because most of the students think that these cubic equation questions are difficult because you do not know this. Please make a note of it. I hope it is clear. I am not going to solve the regular questions in the class. It is a CAT specific workshop. Understand the concept and solve the CAT level questions.